Imagine this, it's 2009. Nobody really knew what Bitcoin was, it was just a weird little thing for computer nerds. Well, meet James Howells. He's an IT engineer from Newport, Wales. A proper tech whiz, you know the type. He loves computers and all the gadgets that come with them. So when this new digital money called Bitcoin appeared, he thought, why not give it a go? He wasn't thinking about getting rich. Oh no. It was more like a fun little experiment. Something to do in his spare time, like building a model train set or learning to bake. He just thought it was interesting. So what is this Bitcoin thing, you ask? Think of it like digital gold. You can't hold it in your hand. It's just code, really, but it has value. Back then, you could use your computer to solve very tricky maths problems. If you solved one, you got some Bitcoin as a reward. This is called mining. James used his laptop to do this. For about a week, his computer was whirring away, getting quite hot solving these problems. After all that effort, he had collected a nice little pile of 8,000 Bitcoins. It was just a digital file saved on his hard drive. At the time, they were worth absolutely nothing, not a penny. After his week of mining, James's girlfriend complained that the laptop was too noisy. You know how it is. So he stopped. He just packed it all away. He took the hard drive out of the laptop and put it in a drawer. He had two identical hard drives, you see. One was empty and broken. The other one held his 8,000 Bitcoins. He just kept it for spare parts, thinking it might be useful one day. It sat there for years, completely forgotten. It was just an old piece of computer equipment, gathering dust in a drawer full of wires and other bits and bobs. Life went on. James got on with his job, his life, everything. The little hard drive with its digital treasure was just sitting there, silent. He didn't think about it. Why would he? Bitcoin was still a strange, obscure thing. It wasn't in the news. Your nan wasn't asking you about it at Christmas. For James, it was a finished project. A curiosity he had explored and then moved on from. The drawer held a forgotten key to a fortune, but nobody, least of all James, had any idea of the incredible story that was about to unfold from that simple, dusty drawer. Fast forward to 2013. We've all been there, haven't we? You decide it's time for a big clear out. You look at all the junk you've collected over the years and think, right, this all has to go. James Howells was having one of those moments. He was clearing out his old office desk. There were old papers, broken pens, and a whole load of old computer stuff. Cables that don't connect to anything anymore. Dusty keyboards and a couple of old hard drives. He had a big black bin bag and he was just chucking things in without much thought. It feels good, doesn't it? A proper spring clean. During this big tidy-up, he came across those two hard drives I mentioned. They looked exactly the same. One was completely useless. The other one? Well, the other one had the 8,000 Bitcoins on it. In the rush of cleaning, he made a simple, tiny mistake. He picked up the wrong one. He thought he was throwing away the broken, empty one. So, into the bin bag it went, along with all the other rubbish. He didn't think twice. It was just an old piece of tech taking up space. He probably felt quite good about making his desk look so neat and tidy. With the bag full, he did what anyone would do. He took it outside and put it in the bin for the rubbish collection. Then the bin lorry came, as it always does. It picked up the bin, tipped all the rubbish into the back and crushed it all together. James's little hard drive was now mixed in with everyone else's rubbish from the whole street. Banana peels, old newspapers, tea bags, the lot. It was on its way to the local landfill site. A massive rubbish dump. A graveyard for things people don't want anymore. And somewhere in that pile was a digital wallet holding a fortune. At that moment, Bitcoin was starting to get a bit more valuable. It wasn't worth millions yet, but those 8,000 Bitcoins were worth a few £100,000, a life-changing amount of money for most people. But James didn't know. He was completely unaware. He went to bed that night thinking he'd just had a productive day of cleaning. He had no idea that he had just thrown away a winning lottery ticket. The kind of mistake that makes you want to turn back time. But of course, you can't. The bin lorry was gone, and the hard drive was gone with it. A few months later, James was reading the news. Suddenly, Bitcoin was everywhere. The price was going up and up and up. People were talking about it. It was becoming a big deal. And that's when a little thought popped into his head. Hang on a minute, he thought. I had some of that. I had a lot of that. He remembered the old hard drive he had put in the drawer all those years ago. He went to the drawer to find it. He searched and searched, his heart probably starting to beat a little bit faster. But it wasn't there. All he could find was the broken, empty one. The horrible truth began to sink in. That feeling in the pit of your stomach. He remembered the big clear out. He remembered throwing a hard drive away. It had to be the one. He had thrown away the wrong one. He had literally thrown a fortune in the bin. Can you imagine that feeling? It's like remembering you left your winning lottery ticket in a pair of jeans that are now in the wash, but so much worse. The value of his 8,000 bitcoins was now worth millions of pounds, a staggering amount of money lost because of one tiny mistake during a cleanup. The story is just incredible, isn't it? That's why it became so famous. It's a tale of modern times, a digital tragedy. News channels all over the world picked it up, the man who threw away a Bitcoin fortune. He became a legend, but for all the wrong reasons. To put it in perspective for you, as of today, July 27, 2025, those 8,000 Bitcoins would be worth, well, it's an eye-watering amount. We are talking hundreds of millions, maybe even over £500 million depending on the day. It's an amount of money that is almost impossible to imagine, all lost in a landfill. James was devastated, of course, who wouldn't be? He described the feeling as a physical sickness. He had to face the reality that he was once, technically, a multimillionaire, but he could never touch the money. It's a story that captured everyone's imagination because it's both heartbreaking and a little bit funny, in a dark way. It reminds us all of those what-if moments in our own lives, but on a scale that is just mind-boggling. It became a cautionary tale for the digital age, a story people would tell their friends down the pub in disbelief. So what do you do? If you were James, would you just give up, let it go? Not him. He is not a quitter. For years he has been trying to get permission to go and search the landfill. He has a plan. He wants to use AI technology and a team of experts to dig through tons and tons of rubbish to find that one tiny hard drive. He has even offered the local council a huge chunk of the money if they let him look for it. It's like a modern-day treasure hunt. Captain Jack Sparrow looking for digital gold. It is absolutely mad, but you have to admire his determination. This whole crazy story teaches us a few things, doesn't it? First, it shows how quickly technology can change our world. Something that was worthless one day can be worth a fortune the next. It's a bit of a gamble, isn't it? It also teaches us about luck. James was unlucky to throw it away, but he was incredibly lucky to have mined it in the first place. It's a story of terrible luck and amazing luck, all mixed together. It makes you think about all the small chances and choices we face every single day. A different choice, and his life would be completely different. And the most obvious lesson, of course, is to be careful with your things, especially in this digital world. Your most valuable possessions might not be the shiny jewelry or the big television. They could be on a tiny USB stick or a hard drive. We should all be a bit more careful about what we throw away. Double-check everything. Label your things. It's a simple lesson, but James's story shows us the consequences can be enormous. It's a reminder to pay attention to the little details because you never know which detail might be the important one. In the end, this is more than just a story about lost money. It's about hope and regret, and the strange twists and turns of life. A small action, like cleaning a desk, can lead to a gigantic, life-defining event. It makes you wonder what forgotten treasures might be hiding in our own attics or drawers. Probably not $1 billion hard drive, let's be honest. But it's a powerful thought. It reminds us that life is unpredictable and that sometimes the biggest stories come from the smallest of mistakes. And we'll all be watching to see if James ever finds his treasure. Now that would be a finale.